You really speak my language because as a
Mhm.
marketer who was interested to go in marketing because of psychology and understanding how we humans work, but then seeing that oftentimes marketers, marketing theory, sales really twist the psychology and really abuse understanding behavior science. And there's so many gimmicks and there are many sleazy tactics and there's so much pressure, and over the years got a little bit of disillusioned and disconnected with marketing, kind of struggling to be a marketer and have a business doing marketing, business consultancy, coaching, and yet also creating a little bit of a space in this world where it's not sleazy, it's not abusive, it's not, against the human values, the genuine interest, and going maybe sometimes against the mainstream of marketing, of business, where it's like, wait a minute, like, yes, you can do it this way, but you can also do it in a very much heart-centered, genuine, human way. So I'm so, excited to have this conversation and dive a little deeper in what it actually means then in practice, in your business, in your teachings, to then approach business and marketing from this genuine, loving, hippie, kind of a humane approach to be able to sell like a human, to market like a human, to really come across just as ourselves, yet understanding that, there are certain things, there are certain best practices that we kind of not necessarily have to follow, but there are certain rules to marketing and business for things to work, and how that do you then find the balance between being human and being genuine and being kind and loving, and yet still get the results that you want and that your clients want.
Yeah. So I remember back in 2018, I was having all these conversations with entrepreneurs, heart-centered entrepreneurs, changemakers, and they kept telling me marketing creates anxiety for them. And there was two sides to this anxiety. It was the anxiety to do it the way we were told and put ourselves out there in a way that felt out of integrity. And the other anxiety was created when we were on the receiving end and receiving this pushy, manipulative type of marketing. And so I was thinking, well, there's something wrong with that. There's enough anxiety in the world already. So there needs to be a different way of doing this. And so the very first iteration of my approach to it was called anxiety-free marketing. And it resonated with a lot of people. But then I was starting to think about creating a program and writing a book about it, and people were like, "Well, maybe we don't want to focus on a negative word, but make it into something positive." And so it turned into gentle marketing, and that's also the name of the first book I published. And then, unfortunately, I got a cease and desist letter from a lawyer in the States who was protecting a trademark of apparently a not so other gentle marketer because I was like, no, no, I already reserved this trademark gentle marketing. And so then I had to think about, well, what other term can I use for this? And came to humane marketing, which feels actually even better than gentle marketing because I feel like it's more inclusive. It also has that double meaning of human and humane. Um, it reminds me of the Ubuntu mindset of this shared humanity. And so, yeah, it kind of includes all those values. And I think the biggest difference between humane marketing and the traditional or the bro marketing out there is that for me, we start humane marketing from the inside. So it's an inside job that starts with looking at ourselves first, rather than just looking at our avatar or ideal client. All marketing programs I've ever taken are all outside focused, right? But for change makers and healers, I do feel like it's really important that we first look at ourselves and who we are, why we're in this business that we're so passionate about, what are our values. I'm recently also looking at our human design. So, how are we wired in order to then bring all of us to our marketing, bring bring our worldview into our marketing so that there actually is a resonance and not a pushiness. So the marketing piece is all about the resonance because if I put myself out there, people relate and resonate with what I'm sharing, then I don't have to push anything because it just happens at this kind of frequency level, is at that resonance level. And so that can only happen if we are courageous and brave to go within and look at our own stories and put ourselves out there. And since most of, the people I talk to are solopreneurs, change makers in the service business or in the healing business, well, we are the business. And so we have that. Yes, it's hard, but it's also a huge advantage because we can really build a business that is aligned with whom we are. And there's nothing worse than having to work with clients that are not aligned with whom we are. And then not having fun and experiencing joy in our business anymore. So the concept I basically created is this idea of the 7 P's of humane marketing that start with passion and personal power, and only then go into the people, so that we bring ourselves out there so that it resonates with our people.